Memorizing short definitions for Cambridge 0478. Honestly, that is literally the fastest way to bleed your grade boundaries. If you think cramming flashcards with one-sentence labels is going to secure you a top-band score, you are setting yourself up for a massive, massive confidence shock the second you open that exam paper.
So, let's absolutely destroy this common study myth right out of the gate. Simply knowing the dictionary definition of a web browser or just memorizing what the World Wide Web stands for is not going to get you past the bottom mark band. Examiners, they aren't looking for human dictionaries, right? They're looking for logical problem solvers. Because here is the harsh reality straight from the examiner's desk. Generic responses rarely gain full marks. Answers must anchor to the given context. Writing down everything you happen to know about a topic without any specific direction is a huge mistake. If the exam question gives you a context, say it's a school network, or a robotic system, or a secure website, your generic memorized definition is completely useless unless you anchor it directly to that specific scenario.
The concept compression framework.
Okay, to cure that vague wording and actually connect theory to real digital problems, we use this specific framework. This is how you stop memorizing in isolation. There are 4 questions you absolutely must ask yourself for every single piece of terminology. 1. What digital problem does it solve? 2. What data or hardware device is involved? 3. What exact process is taking place? And 4. What is the practical consequence for the user or the system? Once you answer these, your terminology becomes a powerful tool, not just a list of words.
Rapid method answer sequencing. Let's look at how we build this into a disciplined 4-step path to draft a top-band answer. Step 1. Identify the exact requirement of the task. Are they asking for causes, effects, or an evaluation? Step 2. Classify the relevant data or hardware involved. Step 3. Explain the process in a clear, logical sequence. Like, explain it so clearly that another learner could easily follow it. And Step 4. Connect that entire explanation back to the specific context given in the question. Now, in a moment, I'll show you the exact examiner clue that changes your answer completely, the 4 specific prompts that guarantee your topic is exam ready. But first, you really need the framework that makes that clue obvious. If you skip ahead now, you're going to miss the core mechanic of how this actually looks in a real exam scenario. So, let's apply it.
Listen to this flawed answer. A browser accesses the www. In the exam room, this gets 0 marks. Why? Because it's way too vague, and it skips the process entirely. Now compare that to a top-band answer. The browser sends a URL via HTTP to retrieve HTML from the server and renders it. Boom. It identifies the data, it names the exact protocol, sequences the retrieval, and states the practical consequence, which is rendering the page. That is how you gain full marks.
Spot the examiner error.
Let's escalate the stakes a bit. I want you to step into the examiner's shoes for just a second. We are going to grade a classic, highly realistic, bad answer that students write every single year. Take a look at this. An advantage of using a browser is it's fast. Just pause for a second. Think about it. Why would this student answer instantly fail to get the mark on a Cambridge paper? Predict the error. Well, if you guessed advantage without reason, you hit the nail on the head. Giving an advantage without providing the scientific reasoning or the context behind it is a cardinal sin in Computer Science 0478. You cannot just say, it's fast. Fast compared to what exactly? Because of what process? Other classic errors you've got to avoid include confusing similar terms, completely missing process steps, or just naming a device without actually explaining how it works. This brings us to a massive pitfall. Top-tier notes must train comparisons to avoid mixing up concepts that look similar. For example, confusing a protocol with a service. HTTP is the protocol, right? It's the set of rules for data transfer, but the www is the service. It's the actual collection of multimedia web pages and information. Mixing these two up will cost you dearly on exam day.
The 4 exam prompts and revision cycle.
All right, delivering on that promise from earlier, we are revealing the 4-prompt memory structure that guarantees your knowledge is perfectly tuned. If you can confidently answer these 4 prompts out loud for any concept, you have successfully compressed it for the exam. 1. What is it? 2. How does it work? 3. Where is it used? And 4. Why is it better or worse than an alternative in that specific situation? This matrix literally forces you to think exactly like an examiner.
And to lock this in, we use a 3-pass revision cycle. Pass 1, you secure your definitions and key contrasts, like knowing protocol versus service. Pass 2, you rehearse worked explanations and process sequences, like exactly how a browser retrieves HTML. And Pass 3, this is the game changer. You change the scenario context. You practice transferring your knowledge from a generic website to a secure school system, or maybe an industrial network. Adaptability here is absolutely everything.
Next steps for exams. Okay, so you now have the exact strategy to sequence an answer, avoid that vague wording, and think like an examiner. But, frankly, knowing this strategy is completely useless if you end up applying it to the wrong syllabus topics in the final stretch. You have the concept compression framework, but do you know exactly which 0478 syllabus points you need to target with it right now? Do you have the exact map for your final 7 days of revision?
Are you ready to completely replace that old memorization myth with a foolproof 7-day system? Because exploring the last 7 days revision map is the mandatory final step. It is absolutely crucial to lock in your Cambridge IGCSE grade boundary and ensure you apply today's strategy to the exact questions that are going to appear on your paper.
You now possess the framework to secure top marks on www and web browsers. But strategy is only half the battle. Execution in your final days is the other half. Will you adapt this examiner mindset to every remaining topic or fall back into the flashcard trap? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations, and click the last 7 days revision map video right now to finish your exam preparation. I'll see you over there.